Breaking snooker news in the last hour or so.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has decided to miss the rest of the snooker season.
And he has personal issues to resolve.
And doubts have been cast on whether he'll return to the sport.
Good afternoon. Never has there been an opening morning in the Betfair World Snooker Championship as keenly anticipated or indeed watched as this one, because it featured a defending champion who has raised his cue in competitive anger only once in the last 11 and a half months, and then has dared to come back here to the Crucible and try and win this title for a fifth time. Quite a challenge indeed, and one which John Parrott and Steve Davis have been watching since we were with you on BBC Two this morning at 10 o'clock, because that's when the Rocket walked out into the auditorium to try and defend his title. Gentlemen, it was a fascinating moment, clearly, and he shared the first couple of frames with Marcus Campbell of Scotland, the world number 27, a very, very good player indeed, and thereafter it was a tale of three clearances, John.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the first one, this was an indication of his early sharpness. I mean, these balls weren't easy when he started this break, but he flicked out a red off the side cushion, got another one that was on the side later on. Typical O'Sullivan fashion, made it look very easy when it was quite difficult.
So Ronnie at that point going 2-1 up. Now in frame 4, Marcus, having made a break of 55, was 59 in front here, and it was O'Sullivan who dished up once again, Steve.
Yes, and it looked for all the world as if Marcus Campbell was in excellent form and was going to go into the interval at 2-2. But it just shows the power of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Cleared up in that frame and the previous one, and made two very difficult clearances under pressure. Looked so easy.
Now you talk about pressure, the pressure here on Campbell, because once again he's in early.
Yeah, and he did all the work really. He got right down to the final 5 colours, made the mistake.
18.
Once again, O'Sullivan has pounced, got this black in the centre, and you know he's not going to miss this, is he? And Marcus Campbell will be absolutely kicking himself because their frames he could have won.
So by this point, Ronnie had taken a 4-1 lead when we left you over on BBC Two a short while ago at 12:20. So it's already been a very long and intriguing day here in Sheffield. A long, long way to go on this opening day, and indeed 17 days worth of great action coming your way. We're going to rejoin this match in frame 6, and it's the Scot Campbell at the table, and he's being watched by Stephen Hendry and John Virgo.
And that's what leaves those type of pots on. A good pot it was. And just about got an angle on the blue. Nice clean pot. I thought he had a slight angle on the blue, but he was just straight, so he had to just roll it in and play for this red.
6.
Now, can he reach it without using the rest? It's a bit of a stretch. Yes, no
7.
problem. Problem is, at the moment he's got is the blacks tied up, so he'll be trying to think of a way to get the black into play. I mean, normally you could think, well, maybe play a cannon here, but that pink's just loose from the red, so they're guaranteed to go into them with pace and open them up. Well, it could have been a lot worse. It's not bad. Didn't bring the black into play, but plenty of loose reds to go at.
Yeah, you can play a plant onto this red that's over the corner pocket. Pink goes to the right centre. Only one shot he could play. The only thing with the plant, the red is slightly to the left-hand jaw of the pocket. Which means it's not a formality. Still should get it, but it's not a formality. I think, as I said, stun for the pink into the right centre.
Marcus Campbell, 12.
Well, he tried to pot the red in the corner. Thought it would pass the other red. He didn't play the plant, because you couldn't have played it from that side. You just wonder whether that mistake is an aftermath of the few frames that have gone before.
One.
Yeah, the frustration's building, isn't it? Just it's building up. The frames he's thrown away. He's been in first every frame since the first frame. Or since the third frame, I should say. Ronnie's had a lead in the second frame.
Seven. 8.
He thought that red would go. Well, maybe it would have done if it got right into the jaw, but didn't get right into the jaw, did he?
That was a good shot to avoid the cannon on the pink and the brown.
13.
Just a little grimace. He's come a bit straight. He's just got to be careful he doesn't screw in off into the right middle.
40.
It was close enough. He'd love to get the black into a potable position, but that's not the case. I don't know whether the pink will go on its spot now and help him at this end of the table. Well, it does, but
20.
good shot needed now to pot this red and get position on either pink or blue.
21.
Well, that was nicely played. Made it look easy, but believe me, it was anything but.
$27.
Unwanted kiss on that red. It's just throwing him out of
28.
position slightly. Makes the ping a little bit more difficult and not guaranteed to be good on the next red. Good pot nevertheless.
34.
But needs another one. Nicely played. He's certainly cueing the ball beautifully, isn't he? I mean, you know, I can criticise some of his safety catching the ball colour, but when he's been in, he's cued it beautifully.
Yeah, I think one of the key shots in this break when he played the pink from the brown spot. A lot of professionals would have played the easy blue. He played the more difficult pink, got it back in its spot, and that's what's
38.
created this chance.
39.
I think the only things he seems to be having trouble with is distance. He's not judging his side shots that well. His safety's not been brilliant, but in the balls he's looked as good as ever.
Yeah, some of the clearances, I mean, I know Marcus will be
41.
thinking that the frames he should have won, but Ronnie's made some beautiful clearances
42.
and made them look so easy.
Yeah, he was telling me he's just had a new tip put on this week and he's not 100% happy with it, which can be the reason why he's not, playing the long distance with side shots that well. in the balls, that doesn't really affect it much.
48.
Doesn't look like particularly like a new tip, but of course a lot of the players sort of cut them down so they're ready to play rather than having them on brand new. Well, it's a brand new tip, but they just cut them down so they're not as spongy and you get
55.
more feel off the ferrule. There you see, just this red
56.
and colour and one more red. And it's going to be 5-1. Well, I don't think he was too bothered about that kiss on the red, but it's worked out perfect as it turns out. Just this red needed.
62.
Now a good chance to make his first century
69.
of this World Championship.
70. $77. 78.
Looks odds on now.
Yeah, might have been a little bit straighter on this black, but... Oh, well! Thank
85.
goodness for gravity. But not so in that case. Well, no century, but I don't think Ronnie will be too disappointed. He just marches on, and he's reached that 5 frame that you were mentioning, Stephen, so he cannot be behind after this first session, but can he press on from here?
Yes, a break of 86 to go with the 82 that he knocked in the first frame. So looking very comfortable on his competitive return now, 5-1 in front. So frame 7, let's get in there. And this time it's Ronnie in catch-up mode once more, 58 behind.
1.
If this cannon into the reds works out right. Give me deja vu.
Absolutely.
8.
As you say, Marcus was just a couple of pots away there, and whether there was value in playing the red as he did, but whether he purposely played to overcut it and just caught it much too thin, I don't know. But playing the pot, as I say, at that pace, if it was close to jaws and didn't go in, it'd stay there. And this would be another real blow to
16.
Marcus's confidence if Ronnie could pull this one out of the bag.
70.
Now this could be the key to the frame. And it's worked out absolutely perfect as we just go over the 2-hour mark. And it's been 2 hours of intriguing snooker, it has to be said. What a start to the championship. Plenty of points to spare, 33 points behind. So he doesn't have to concentrate on the pink and black. Just overrun that slightly.
29.
He'd like to roll this in and play for the blue. That's not an option now. He's overdone this. And he's just overcooked this one as well, so it's not pinpoint position, and it makes it all the more difficult. This is a tough pot at the best of times.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 35.
No, he's not covered the red. So he just has to concentrate and get a nice angle in black or pink.
So it just needs the colour and the final red to leave Ronnie needing a snooker.
I think he's just come wrong side of the pink. He would love to just follow the cue ball through and have a nice easy red to the corner, but the cue ball's gone slightly further away from the red than he would like if he plays the pink. Looks like he's going to you'll have to use the rest here, which we know makes the shot a lot more difficult. But he only needs the red, so concentrate 100% on the pot.
Clean as a whistle, good shot. After what's gone before, a frame that he was desperate to win. Ronnie had his chance, just couldn't keep tight control of the cue ball at his last visit. It caught him out in the end. So this will be a mighty relieved Marcus Campbell. This pink just puts the finishing touches on the frame. Don't think Ronnie will bother coming back to the table now. 37 points the lead, just 27 remaining.
14.
Oh, that was a tremendous shot.
19. $23. 28. 34.
Nice positional shot to come around for the black. He was in first in this frame with a break of 54. Made a mistake, but this time it wasn't punished by Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Marcus Campbell reduces his arrears to 3. But he still trails 5 frames to 2.
Well, Marcus Campbell is ranked one place above Ronnie O'Sullivan in the world rankings right now due to Ronnie's descent down those rankings after his sabbatical from snooker. And Campbell, the Scot, who's a 40-year-old, has proven he can certainly mix it with the very best players. He's had a quarter-final and a semi-final appearance in 2 of the biggest events of the season so far, and he's still very much in this match as we head into frame 8.
Played it well enough, but didn't do much with the cue ball. But the most important thing in those type of shots is make certain you pot the red, at least you get the next shot. But it had to be made, and he just gives the plant that little bit more concentration rather than the position.
Ronnie O'Sullivan one.
Well, I must admit, I don't know what Ronnie was playing there, but whatever it was, it's not gone well. He's left this red to the left corner. Lots of topspin here, of 2 cushions to get back up the table.
Well, another long pot missed, and that could be costly because he's left Ronnie with a nice easy starter. He's just having a look to see if he could play for the black and bring the black into play. Certainly got the pink in the middle of the table. Not happy.
One.
Ronnie purposely played for the black there, tried
8.
to clear it. Now is it available into both corner pockets? It's certainly available into the left corner. Not certain about the right corner, but the balls are nicely situated. This is a type of opportunity you'd expect him to make the most of.
9.
And even though he's been out for a long time, competitive-wise, he certainly looked to be scoring well enough when he's had the opportunity.
Yeah, this is where he has looked impressive today in the balls.
$15.
Yes, this red to the right corner. He may have to just put a little trace aside on the cue ball just to throw it over, but it looks like he can get through to it. And he could.
16.
And I think the red to the right of the black will pass the black into the same pocket as the black. Shouldn't it? Oh no, maybe it doesn't, so that's why he's playing the pink.
$22. 23.
He's overscrewed that. He'll be disappointed with that. That was a straightforward positional shot and he's overdone it slightly. A little bit more work to do now. Well, that could not. If he'd have picked it up and put it with his hand,
29.
he could not have put it in a better place than that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a clever shot. They played for a choice of 2 reds. See where this cue ball ends up. He's either got the red to the left corner or the red he ended up on, which, as you say, was the perfect red to land on because it clears a black.
$37. $38.
Having to go up for the blue that time, but he's played it nicely. Perfect on the blue. Just one good positional shot, you feel. That's all that's needed now. And that wasn't going to be a problem.
43. $44.
That's careless. That's careless. Not on the pink, so that's 2 positional shots now. He's played on the pink and he's just a bit loose with them. This blue is missable. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Right in the heart of the pocket and cued it like a dream.
49. 50. $56.
So just this red and the colour needed.
57.
Because now that red's disappeared, there's only 59 points remaining.
63. 64.
Well, he's threatened to make century breaks in quite a few frames. He had an 82 in the first frame, which looked for all the world it was going to be a century.
71.
And an 85 in the sixth.
72.
Can he make that ton here? But that is the one thing, that is the bottom line of this game at this level. When you get
79.
your opportunities, you've got to score. And
80.
Ronnie's certainly proving that today, that given the opportunities, he will score. OK, we can question his safety play has not been absolutely spot on, but that can improve.
86.
Well,
86.
still no century,
And the frame.
but another frame on the scoreboard, which will please him more than the century break. And he now leads by 6 frames to 2. There's just one more frame to play in this session.
At third break, over 80 already from the defending champion, and he looks very comfortable, almost as though he's never been away, rather ominously. 6-2 in front. But this now is the last frame of the morning session, and Campbell has a decent lead in this one.
Oh, Marcus, you need to take those opportunities. And if this red had have travelled another inch or two, it'd have been an absolute formality for Ronnie. He can still pot it, but it's a thin one. So now, Marcus Campbell is going to have to sit and suffer as to whether he will get another chance in this frame. This was a big, big frame, and he's had 2 excellent opportunities. Will he get another?
Six. 7.
Play for a red into the same pocket as the black here. Stun off the cushion. Underhit it slightly. Shouldn't be a problem though, playing for
14.
blue or possibly pink. Play some sort of cannon.
Yeah, I think Ronnie would just be wary of where the pink's going to go if he plays for the pink when it's respotted. Because I think those 2 reds are available, at least the bottom one. Oh, well, he's played
15.
that well. Played the cannon perfectly. I don't think he's ideal on the pink, but I think he can just roll it in and play for the red to the left middle. Well, he was going to do, then he wasn't going to do. We always say that if you're not certain, get up and get down again, but didn't make any difference, of course. It was such an easy pot on the pink. A little bit short there, though. Two points behind. This to go in front in the frame.
$28. 29.
Straighter on the green would have been ideal. But straight enough, he didn't have to do too much with the cue ball. Just checking the scoreboard, 8 points the lead.
32.
So any colour off this red and he'd need up to and including the blue.
33.
A little bit shorter pace on the blue. Just looking to see where he'd like to leave the cue ball for the yellow. I don't think he screwed back quite far enough there. Looking at the scoreboard again.
28.
Yellow, green and brown. That's what's required.
40.
And that looks as though that will be a formality. Now, Stephen.
Yeah, and it's been job well done.
43.
As I said, first proper match since last year, and he'll be really happy with his performance. 7-2 lead after the first session. He's been really good in the
47.
balls. Made some great
52.
clearances to pinch frames. Job done so far.
58 in frame.
Yeah, and as far as Marcus Campbell's concerned, it's a case of what might have been, because he's 7-2 behind, but he's had plenty of chances to have it a lot closer. But that's the game, and Ronnie O'Sullivan, defending champion, ends the first session, leading by 7 frames to 2, going into this evening's final session.
Well, if he was nervous, it certainly didn't show, did it? 7-2 in front after the first session, Steve.
Yeah, I think that shows the pedigree of Ronnie O'Sullivan. The story of the match so far has been the fact that both players have given as good as they've got. Marcus Campbell's been in front many times, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's done the most important thing. He's won the frame at the end with clearances, and that shows a player in form. You know, it doesn't matter, you talk about a player who hasn't had any form. If you are clearing up as regularly as Ronnie O'Sullivan, you are in form.
And it begs the question, which aspects of your game are particularly challenged by months of not playing competitive snooker? And did we see those aspects come to the fore today?
Just like not being in the venue. Not so much about your game, it's just the fact you've been out of the swim of it. You know, you turn up into a venue you haven't been at for ages. I think you'd even, you know, if you're playing in cubicles all the time, you'd be unused to that. But the fact you're not playing at the biggest venues, and certainly the biggest one we play in the Crucible, it's just strange, it's just different to come back. But he's played this morning as if he's never been away.
Would you have expected more rust to be evident in his game?
No, the reports were that he was playing excellently in practice, but what you could have expected was a game that didn't go that way. You know, that it could have been a bit more nip and tuck, and, you know, a few balls missed, and a bit more edgy, and a bit more nerve-wracking. But that was an excellent standard of snooker. Marcus Campbell will be so disappointed he hasn't converted more frames, but he's up against one of the greatest players.
I think mere mortals in that match this afternoon, that'd have been a 5-4 match. Every day of the week that'd have been 5-4. Those clearances and that sharpness with those clearances. OK, he's made 380s as well. That's the difference in the scoreline.
And we heard the importance of sticking with Ronnie O'Sullivan. Clearly he's a brilliant front runner, and obviously from Marcus's perspective would love to have stuck with him a little bit more closely in the opening frames.
Yes, the thing about that, it does put a lot of pressure on the player like Marcus Campbell, because he knows he's got to try to do that. And you're always looking over your shoulder. If you're 50 points in front and you know there's enough reds on the table, unfortunately you're never really comfortable, and that puts a bit of pressure on converting the frame with that frame winning ball.
I mean, that's been the whole problem, really. He qualified Marcus here. I think he's a great player, real good match player. His highest break qualifying was 52.
Yeah.
So what he's done today is he's got to 50, but those 50s have got to be 75, so that you've won the frame in one visit, because that's what O'Sullivan does to you if you don't make 75.
OK, well, that is one of 5 of our first 16 first-round matches to get underway today. Only one of them, traditionally, finishes on the opening day. That's the one featuring the defending champion. They'll come back tonight to do so. But our lineup also features today 2 other world champions. We've got Sean Murphy, who plays Martin Gold this afternoon, and Mark Williams will be facing 21-year-old Michael White from Nice this evening. He's one of the more fancied of the large complement of Crucible rookies this year. Another star in the making, definitely. Fellow debutant Jack Lazowski will be stepping out into the arena this afternoon to take on the Aussie Open champion Barry Hawkins. Now, Hawkins is one of 10 different winners of snooker's 10 major events this season. And albeit that Ronnie O'Sullivan is the main story in town today, there's been plenty of life without him on the global snooker tour over the last 12 months.
It's a beautiful day, I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink in there, I'm buying, and I know there's no denying. It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying that it's a beautiful day. The sun is up and the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. 'Cause if you ever think I'll take up my time with thinking of our breakup, then you've got another thing coming your way. 'Cause it's a beautiful day.
And there have been plenty of other smaller events as well. In fact, the snooker players have been gainfully employed very, very much, including this man here who's been travelling the world, Steve. But you know, I talk about the 10 major events being won by 10 different players. When you go back a bit, it's actually the last 13 and 13 different players. What does that tell us about the snooker scene at the moment?
There's a lot of good players around. What I think is very difficult to maintain your form to the highest level when there are so many good players around. So therefore we see players peaking at some stage in the season, but they don't know when it's going to be. And that's the trouble. How can you guarantee to peak for the World Championship?
And no one dominant player, clearly, which I guess is a healthy thing in any sport, John.
Yeah, and you also need a bit of luck. I don't care how good you are or what form you're in. You know, you need a bit of luck through the season. I mean, it's 12 foot by 6, balls run all over the place, and some weeks it's your week and some it isn't, because there's so little between the players, that such a high standard. I don't think if someone said to you, here's the draw for any tournament, you could pick yourself and put yourself in any part of that draw where you'd actually be happy where you'd be.
And I think what's also indicating the changes that have come in the last couple of years is the fact that we've got 6 rookies this year at the Crucible. Real breath of fresh air coming through. 5 of them British.
Yes, and that's encouraging from the UK perspective, because we have been talking up the Chinese contingent and the fact that they're going to come in and swamp the game, and the Asian players in general. It's 5 tyres on the tour as well. But from my perspective, I think it's nice to see that we've got young talent in the game, and that they are going to be, I think they're going to make their mark. They've been used to playing throughout the season, best of 7s, best of 9s. This is a step up, psychologically, a step up into the best of 19s for every player. And this is the one you get your teeth into. Even the UK Championship's only best of 11 now. So this is now head and shoulders the marathon event.
Yeah. I know that Ronnie's dominated the build-up to this event, clearly, but there's so many subplots going on as well, not least Mark Selby trying to become one of a very, very elite group, including this fella here, Mr. Davis, to do the Triple Crown, the UK, the Masters and the World in the singles season. You've got Neil Robertson as well, trying to become the first overseas player to win 2 titles here. A huge number of interesting stories going on here, John.
Well, as I say, I mentioned it earlier in the programme today, talking about the bottom half. I mean, obviously there's great players in the top half. The bottom half is just so competitive. You've got Mark Allen in the bottom half as well. You've got Ding Junhui we haven't mentioned. There's so many good players in the bottom. Whoever wins that, I mean, I think Stephen Maguire's right back to his very best. He's a danger to anybody. His match the other week with Neil Robertson was an absolute classic. There's nothing between those two. So whoever comes through that bottom half is going to have to play real good snooker.
Indeed, even without Ronnie announcing his return 7 weeks ago, this was shaping up as a great championship.
It was, and obviously everybody's around asking you who you think is going to win, and really you can pick any name out of the hat. You can make a case for many names, but I do think that this tournament, you start to get a flavour of who's in form second week, who sort of times their run to perfection, even though you probably don't. It's just who happens to luckily time their run to perfection.
I think that's actually harder to do than it's ever been, because if you're not at it from ball one in this event because of the standard, I mean, not being funny, a few years ago you might have come in and got an easier draw in the first round and you'd want to stumble over the line a bit and get progressively better. You can't do that now. There's no breathing space.
Okay, oh well, that's what Ricky Walden has certainly found in the last couple of years, because Walden won the first of the main prizes this year. He'd love to bookend this season in style. He was out there this morning. This is his 3rd visit to the Crucible. Hasn't won a match yet, but the world number 13 was up against a fella, Michael Holt from Nottingham, who's come within touching distance actually of the quarterfinals a few years back. And we're going to see how they both settled in this morning in the company of Ken Doherty and Willie Thorne. Ricky Walden, well, speeding off to a 4-0 lead last we saw, and we're going to rejoin them now in frame 5.
Yeah, Willie, That's what you said. If you can kiss the reds in that position, he may be able to stay on the pink here. Well, there you saw he was on the pink, not the way he would have played, but he still would have been happy with that. But the most important thing is, of course, make sure you pot the object ball.
Well, on reflection of the match, you know, it's 4-0 to Ricky Walden, and Ricky Walden has got decent breaks in every frame, but it's not the fact that he's been outplaying Michael in all departments. Michael has just played he's missed 3 long pots in the game, Michael, that he perhaps should have got, and he's missed that easy blue in the second frame. And at this standard, you see, you just can't afford to make mistakes. And it's purely the mistakes that are costing him at the moment. It's not that Ricky Walden's outplaying him in every department. He's blessed with an awful lot of cue power, Ricky Walden, as well. He can play screw shots as good as anybody.
4.
Not guaranteed to get good position here. He couldn't really kind of hold for the blue, so he had to go up for brown or green, and he's played it pretty well.
Eight. Nine.
Sure, the 2 reds just below the pink will pot into this bottom corner pocket. Well, he's decided to go down for the 1, and this is a good shot, because what will happen when he pots this red, it will release the black into certainly the same pocket this red is going in.
$60.
Now he's just got to judge this, pot the black cue ball off the top cushion. Try and go into the 2 reds that are really close together, just directly above the black spot, because that will hold the cue ball for one of these reds, left or right of the black. So, but he's got to hit this almost spot on. Well, that's pretty good. Excellent shot. Yeah, judged that really nicely.
23. $24.
And as you said earlier, Willie, he really, when he gets in around this pink and black, he scores very, very quickly. He's got a good pace around the table, plays some nice little nudges and cannons, and tries to get the balls, and particularly the pink and black, into open play as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players that practices well as well. You know, he doesn't abuse the game. He doesn't leave it alone for 3 or 4 days. He plays virtually every day. He plays an awful lot of the lineup. You know, people ask you sometimes, how do you used to practice? And the lineup is as good as anything, because it just makes you play those stuns and screws. And, you know, you can play it different ways, try and clear up without touching a cushion, try and clear up hitting 1 cushion or more. There's always different ways of playing the lineup. And obviously, players of this class would make a century break every time at the lineup, so they have to give themselves targets. Maybe play all pinks one day, play all blues another day. Just give yourself targets. But what you are playing is stuns and screws all the time.
40.
Yes, and what it does as well, it helps you control that cue ball, because it's the most important Ball on the table. Once you've got it on a string like Ricky Walden has at the moment, it just makes the breaks so much easier.
Yes, you can never win a match in the first session, but you can certainly lose one. And as far as Michael Holt's concerned now, he really has to just grab something from this session.
.48.
The two reds above the black, the bottom one will certainly pot into the bottom right-hand corner pocket.
.55. 56.
These little shots now he's playing are the shots that you play all the time in the lineup, little stuns and screws, and try and just keep the cue ball
64.
only about a foot away from your object ball all the time, and that's what makes break building so good, when you've got total control of the cue ball.
71. 72.
Well, as we said, he already made a break of 140 total clearance. Possibility of making another century here.
78.
Made 17 centuries so far this season. Well, he's just missed the red. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that, but he'll be certainly happy he's got another frame on the board. And the march goes on for Ricky Walden. He goes into a 5-frames-to-0 lead.
Not a great situation for Michael Holt, having to sit there. And a reminder that there's only been one whitewash, dare I even mention that, in the first round. John Parrott beat the sitting Eddie Charlton 10-0, 1992. The world number 25, Michael, a.k.a. the Hitman, really does not want to make that kind of history today. Still plenty of time, though, to get frames on the board, and indeed to turn this around. Frame 7, Walden, 13 points apiece here.
Done. Having missed a relatively straightforward red at his previous visit, he's found one there. Come on, Michael, let's have a 60 break off you here. Get yourself a bit of confidence.
Three.
I'll try and get on the pink here.
4.
He has been struggling with the cue ball. Getting an ideal position, but he doesn't have much work to do with the cue ball, as you see with the reds now. Nicely out in the open. Nice frame winning break here would do him the world of good.
11. $18. 19.
Yeah, his best break in the match so far has been a break of 49 in the second frame.
26. $27.
Just come a little bit straight on this black. Not what he would have wanted.
It's not the best because he's not bound to be able to get top side of the blue. I'm not sure whether he's got the angle to do that. Looks straightish to me. I will just manage to do it, so he should win the frame now. 35 points in front. This will be 40, so one red and a high-valued colour. And I'm sure we'll get a warm round of applause should he go on to win this frame, because it's not been a match where, you know, Ricky Walden has deserved to be 6-0 in front. OK, Ricky's played exceptionally well, but you can't expect to beat a top player to nil. So, big frame now. That looks like it's frame over. Just as long as he makes sure of the black, of course. He thinks he's won a frame, but please don't miss the red. Otherwise Ricky will carry on. He's a lovely chap, is Michael. I've got a lot of time for him. Really is a good kid.
49.
He knows this shouldn't be 6-0 or 6-1. He knows he should be a lot closer. But now he's just got to concentrate on winning the next two as well to give him some sort of chance in this match. At 6-3, he has got that.
54. Michael Holt,
well, he made a break of 49 in the set and didn't win it, but a break of 54 has got him a frame on the board, and he now trails by 6 frames to 1.
Yes, the hitman hits his stride at last in this opening match, and I'm sure that will be a great relief to Michael, who is, as Willie Thorne says, very well respected and very well liked in the game. So on his 6th appearance, he's off and running, and now in we go to the penultimate frame. It's Walden to play, and he's ahead here.
Well, managed to get round the back of the pack.
1.
Now, is there anything available from this blue? I don't know whether the one at the back of the pack will pot into the corner. Well, he's played that, Ken. It obviously does.
Yeah, he played it well, didn't he? He had to
6.
play it just with enough pace, just for the blue to reach the pocket to try and hold for that red, and he's played it wonderfully. Always a tough shot, playing those dead weight.
7.
Immediately he wants to get that black back on the spot. I think the red, well, the black will pass the red into this bottom right-hand corner pocket, so he'll drop onto the black, put the black and take that red that's close to the top cushion, and then we'll try and leave
15.
an angle on the black, the next one after this. So put the black, put the red, but he must be low on the black for the next one.
22.
Somewhere in this position. Somewhere in that position on that side if you can.
23.
Yeah, it looks about pretty good. Well, he's got to hit the red right above the black, almost full ball, but plenty of power because he may stick on these reds. Yeah, he just hit a half ball, lost the cue ball a little bit, but
30.
you see, just quarter ball on that red, just lost the cue ball a little bit. One good pot here, though.
And that was a good pot Ken was talking about, but he got a very, very quick bounce off the cushion. This black is still on, but that's the first sign of a bad contact we've had. Usually the ball come off at the same speed as they go on, but that came off a lot quicker. And the wry smile shows you that he's not happy with it, but you would think he'd still take the black on. He's looking at the pink in the middle. And now looking at a safety, but I suppose the fact that he's 60 points in front, he may think it's too risky to play the black, but he looks like he's taking it on, is he? I think he'll just put the green on the side cushion and wait for the one more chance he needs, 60 points in front.
Yes, thank you.
He's playing a different shot. And just to put the blue safe.
Ricky Walden, 31.
Well, he may have got the blue safe, but I wouldn't say it's the best shot he's ever played, because playing the blue that way, he's leaving this cut on the red, just the red directly above the black. And certainly Michael Holt would be having a go at this. He's got the cover. He needs the green to come to his rescue, and I don't think it has.
Well, should he get onto a killer, this is going to be frame number 7 for Ricky Walden, and he couldn't have played it better. OK, he put the blue safe, as Ken mentioned, on the last visit, but he didn't play it very well, so perhaps a little fortunate to have such an easy chance as that. Michael Holt again unfortunate that the red he played went over the pocket.
8. Nine.
Yes, there's a slight chance that Michael would have carried on should Ricky have missed that black, but the fact that the black's gone in, 76 points in front, unlikely for him to come back to the table.
Ricky Walden, 60. Yeah. And the frame.
So Michael Holt said yes to Michaela Tab. He concedes the frame, and Ricky Walden now moves into a 7 frames to 1 lead.
Well, Ricky Walden wasn't here at the Crucible last year. He's here qualified by right as a member of the top 16, but last year didn't come through final qualifying, so it's been a 2-year wait to get back there. And as you can see, he's certainly making the most of it as we get into the last frame of their morning session.
1. Six.
The fact that the black spot's free, once he gets rid of the red directly above the black spot, would make this break a little easier. Regardless of what happens in this frame, this has been obviously a fantastic session for Ricky Walden. He pinched the second frame, made a break of 140, which has set the target for the Golden Q prize, and he's been a regular 30, 40, 50, 60 break player all afternoon, or morning I should say. And this is the man that's suffering, 14. The young man there, Michael Holt. It's a lonely place when you're losing.
Well, it looks like these 2 reds are planted into this bottom corner pocket, and If he did manage to take it on, there you see the dead set. He could go into the reds and bring some more reds into play and still end up on the blue, but for some reason he doesn't like it.
50.
And he couldn't have played that shot any better. I mean, not only was it a delicate little stun shot with side, he just had to get top side of the blue and played it. He couldn't have picked it up and put it better by hand. Decided to play for the plant this time.
21.
Perfect position again on the blue. Decided not to use the reds and bring some more into play from that shot. But still, there's a few reds he can go at here. I think the red directly above the black will pot as well. He could possibly go into the reds if he wanted, but he doesn't have to in this position. There's plenty of reds available.
$26.
Get the red away from the black. And
27.
I think it's key, Ken, if you're going to go on to get to the latter stages of any championship, to try and make sure, if you get a chance to win a match easy, you know, to make sure you do that, because close match after close match. I mean, it's tiring, isn't it, 17 days here?
yeah, it
34.
certainly is. As you said, if you can get a match away early, certainly in the long run, does you the world of good.
Well, he looks a little bit disappointed with the positional shot there, so he's not obviously on anything easy. If he plays his cut, there's not a lot of room to go in between the black and red. So much so he's missed it.
Ricky Walden, 34.
Surely he hasn't got away with that. Surely there must be a pot. Oh yes, you can see the red quite easily. From our commentary position, sometimes it doesn't look like he can from that position. You look, but when you look at that position, plenty of room. Well, Michael, this is probably your last chance in this match. This is a frame you must win.
Eight.
Nine. $16. $17.
What an excellent shot this
20.
was to keep his faint hopes alive.
$24.
Now, one good cannon. That's all you need here. Anything but full ball. Half ball, either side's okay. Should definitely be pushing a red towards the middle. It's better to still into these. If he screws into them and gets half ball low, he could come back towards the black spot. Yeah, played it nicely. Well done. Should win the frame now.
Yeah, just watch the cue ball here.
30.
Hits the pack and then goes again. Lovely shot. Very well controlled.
32.
6.
That was careless, Ken, wasn't it?
Yeah,
okay. You know, you should guarantee getting on the blue 3/4 ball there. He's on it half ball.
Needs a nice kiss on the red, and he's got it. Get onto the black from this red.
35.
9.
36.
'Needs that white to travel a bit. I think it just has.
43.
Doesn't want to be cannoning into any balls now. They're in perfect position. He's just gone 9 points in front, so somehow 4 reds and 4 colours. He'd have won the last frame of this session.
44.
Yeah, one pot in that. It opened the bottom red of those 3 reds there as well, so just got to keep control of that cue ball. It's a big frame for Michael Holt. He's still going to be 7-2 down.
51.
Should he win this? He's still got an uphill battle, but it keeps him in the hunt, just with a
52.
slight opportunity or chance to win this match.
6 away, please. $59.
Well, would you believe it? Would you believe it?
Michael Holt, 59.
It's hard to believe. Well, he's missed a few relatively easy pots in this match, but that's what's cost him.
Well, the blue in frame 2 was easy, but that was even easier. So there's 2 frames. So now we're looking at possibly being 5-4 rather than possibly 7-2. Obviously, there's a slight chance now it can go 8-1, but goodness me, that was a bad miss.
Well, he has a chance, Ricky Walden. He is trailing by 24 points now. Well, here's this miss from Michael Holt. Wow.
I think we know how he feels, don't we?
We've all been there, haven't we?
Me, that was a sigh of almost defeat there, wasn't it? Because if he makes the cannon on the yellow, oh, mind you, no, he hasn't kissed the red. Goodness me. What a result that is.
6.
I mean, this is going nowhere. There's no ways on the red, is there, bar the kiss on the
7.
red? What a sickener that was for Michael.
So he's 12 points behind, so up to and including the pink will suffice for Ricky Walden.
30.
Needs an angle when potting this yellow on the green. It doesn't want to be straight on this green.
15.
That's not the angle he desired. Makes it a little bit more difficult to get the cue ball close to this brown.
Yeah, he's blessed with a lot of cue power, isn't he? So he can screw on and off the side cushion, or he can play it with loads of side. Depends on his. Looks like he's imparting an awful lot of right-hand side.
18.
Well, this Brown's not easy with the long rest. Would you try and screw this in, Ken, or would you just play to stun it out for the long blue?
No, I think you can certainly just screw it in, and he doesn't have to get right up close to the blue, as you said. Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is pot the brown and leave yourself some sort of shot in the blue. But I think you can. These clots are so lively, you know. He can get into this cue ball very easily. He's blessed with cue par. And there you see it. Played it.
What a shot!
Excellent shot, wasn't it?
22.
Actually over-screwed it.
I can't believe he got top side of the blue from that.
Yeah, one good shot here.
$27.
Well, this will be a hard pill for Michael Holt to swallow. Had the frame at his mercy. But it's pink for Ricky Walden. And there you see it. In goes the pink. Great clearance from Ricky Walden. And what a marvellous session of snooker from him on the opening day of the Crucible Betfair World Championships. He leads 8 frames to 1.
And they'll be back tomorrow morning to finish that one off. And John, there's one shot in particular that will haunt Michael Holt.
Oh, this could have a massive bearing on the match. Look at this, he's on the blue, absolutely perfectly. Only got to go up and down for pink. To miss that, well, it's a shock to the system.
That was frame 2, and really from there, it was all downhill from Michael's perspective.
Yes, you know, all the practicing, the build-up, the optimism, the expectation, all the bravado and confidence that you might get, as John said, it can evaporate in one shot like that. We didn't really see enough. We were watching mainly the Ronnie O'Sullivan match, but it's hard to know whether Michael just collapsed after that or Ricky Walden just did a very good job on keeping him under wraps. I think it's probably what happened.
OK, well, as I say, they'll be back tomorrow morning to finish that one off, but Walden looking very good indeed. We're changing channels once again, and we're hopping over to BBC Two. We'll be there in about, I don't know, 20 seconds time or something like that as we continue our live coverage from the Crucible. With one world champion in action, we've got Sean Murphy, and we've got Jack Lazowski, one of 6 Crucible rookies in action as well. It really is all go here in Sheffield. Reprogram to BBC Two. We'll see you very soon.